Hello everyone, welcome to the yarn bowl. Today in this video we're going to see how to crochet this positive potato amigurumi. It's such a simple project. Today I'll be showing you how to work this amigurumi in this chenille yarn, and if you want to work the same amigurumi in size 4 acrylic yarn, you can find the pattern in my Etsy page. So let's get started. You can find the free written pattern of this positive potato worked in chenille yarn in my website theyarnbowlcrochet.com. Link for that is found in the description. And if you have an Instagram account, do follow me on my Instagram handle as well. I post project updates and fun reels on my Instagram. And if you're new to this channel, please do not forget to subscribe to the yarn bowl and click on the bell icon as well, so that you get notified whenever I post a new video. So in this video I'm going to show you how to work this positive potato amigurumi in chenille yarn. So I bought this chenille yarn, just chenille, from Premier Yarns from a dollar store. So it's very convenient for working the small amigurumi projects. And I'm going to use 5mm crochet hook for working this positive potato. And we'll need 2 stitch markers, and we'll need tapestry needle. And in the website where I post my free written pattern on my website, you can download these labels and you can cut them out. And I'm gonna need a blunt tip of a metal crochet hook to tuck in the odd ends of the yarn inside the amigurumi. We'll need scissors, 2 stitch markers, tapestry needle, and I'm gonna use 2 safety eyes which I bought from Amazon, and we'll need the puncher. And I'm also gonna use this thin velvet yarn, or you can also use size 4 acrylic yarn for working the mouth details. And let's get started. So as I told you, you can download all these labels from my website, and you can punch them with the punching machine to attach them to your amigurumi project. So I have also worked the same project with size 4 acrylic yarn. You can download the pattern of both these amigurumis from my Etsy page. I have also posted my Etsy page link on the description. Do check it out. And I hope you enjoy this video. And if you want a free written pattern of this chenille yarn amigurumi, it can be found in my website theyarnbowlcrochet.com, and you can find many more interesting patterns in my website as well. Come on, let's get started working this positive potato amigurumi with chenille yarn. So we're gonna get started here. For round 1, I'm going to work a magic ring, and then I'll work 6 single crochets around the magic ring. So little tip here for working amigurumis with chenille yarn or chunky yarn, velvet yarn. So make sure you don't work tight stitches around the magic ring. So in that way, when you close your magic ring, it will not be that difficult, and once you get used to it, it will be easier. So I make sure that I don't work tight stitches around my magic ring. So for round 1, I'm going to work a magic ring and 6 single crochets around the magic ring. So we don't end each rounds by working slip stitches on top of your first stitch. Instead, we're going to start our next round right away. So now I have tightened my magic ring, and then we're gonna start our round 2 right away. For round 2, I'm gonna work 2 single crochets on each stitch of round 1. So go ahead, work 2 single crochet stitches on each stitch of round 1. Make sure you mark your first stitch with a stitch marker. So this will help us identify the first stitch of each round. And then go ahead, work 2 single crochets on each stitch of round 1. So you should have 12 stitches at the end of round 2. So now we are almost at the end of round 2. So round 2 we should have 12 single crochet stitches. Then I'm going to tighten my magic ring even more and secure it with a knot. Just stamping off any extra yarn so that it doesn't come on the way of our stitches. So let's go for round 3. For round 3 it's again an increment round. I'm going to work 1 single crochet in one stitch and 2 single crochet on the next stitch around. So as I told you, we're going to just start with our round 3 right away. I'm just working my first single crochet here and mark it with the stitch marker, and then in the next stitch I'll work 2 single crochets, and then I'm going to repeat this pattern around. We'll work 1 single crochet in one stitch and 2 single crochet on the next stitch around. So at the end of round 3 I'm going to have 18 single crochet stitches. Go ahead, work 1 single crochet in one stitch and 2 single crochet on the next stitch around. So you should have 18 stitches at the end of round 3. So that's your round 3. For next 4 rounds, which is round 4, 5, 6 and 7, we are just going to work 1 single crochet on each stitch around. So there is no increment. We're just going to maintain our stitch count, which will be 18 stitches at the end of each round. So I'll need another stitch marker here to mark my 4th round, and then it will be easier to count our non-increment rounds. So I'm marking my first stitch with a stitch marker of my 4th round, and then I'll work 1 single crochet on each stitch around. So at the end of round 4 I'm going to have 18 stitches. So this is the end of round 4. I'm going to work round 5. So for that I'm going to remove my stitch marker and start my first stitch of my round 5 and mark it with a stitch marker. This is my 5th round. At the same time I'm going to use another stitch marker to mark my first stitch of round 4. So this pink stitch marker is going to help us count the number of non-increment rounds. So this is a little technique that I use when I'm working non-increment rounds, which will help me to count the number of non-increment rounds. And then I'm working my round 5 here. I'm just going to work 1 single crochet on each stitch around. So we're not going to remove this pink stitch marker until we finish our non-increment rounds. I'm just going to remove my orange stitch marker and start my round 6. Mark the first stitch of round 6, and then I'll continue working 1 single crochet on each stitch around for our round 6. Go ahead, work 1 single crochet on each stitch around for our round 6. Now we are going to work our round 7. For round 7 we are just going to still work 1 single crochet on each stitch around. So we are still going to have 18 stitches at the end of round 7. Go ahead, work 1 single crochet on each stitch around. So here we are going to remove our pink stitch marker. We don't need that anymore because our non-increment rounds are done. So I'm going to work the arm also here, where because it's a no-sew pattern. So for that, for round 8, I'm going to work chain 5, starting round 8 with the chain 5, and then I'm going to work 1 single crochet on second chain from the hook, and then I'll work 1 single crochet in the next 3 chains. So this will be one of the arm for this potato. So this is our first arm, and then I'm going to work 1 single crochet on top of the starting stitch of round 7. I'm just going to remove the stitch marker, and then I'll work 1 single crochet on top of starting single crochet of round 7, and then I'll work 1 single crochet on the next 8 stitches. Go ahead, work 1 single crochet on next 8 stitches. Now it's time for us to work the second arm. So that I'm gonna again work 5 chains, and then I'm gonna work 1 single crochet on the second chain from the hook, and then I'll work 1 single crochet on the next 3 chains. So now that we have worked our second arm, we're just going to work 1 single crochet in rest of all the stitches. 1 single crochet each in rest of all the stitches, which will be the last 9 stitches. So once you have worked 1 single crochet in the last 9 stitches, we are done with our round 8. So we have worked 2 arms here, and for round 9 and for round 10, which will be for the next 2 rounds here, we are just going to work 1 single crochet on each stitch. Now remove our RN stitch marker, just push this arm on the side and continue working 1 single crochet on each stitch like you used to do before. And mark your first stitch with a stitch marker. So that's your first arm, and then work 1 single crochet on each stitch around, which will be your 18 stitches. So when your second arm comes on the way, just push it on the side and work your single crochet on top of your stitch. Just push it on the side and pick your next stitch and work your single crochet on it, and continue working 1 single crochet on each stitch around for the next 9 stitches. So you should have 18 stitches at the end of round 9. So for round 10 also we are going to repeat the same thing. We are just going to work 1 single crochet on each stitch around. If you want, you can use 2 stitch marker, but since we are only having 2 non-increment rounds, we'll not need 2 stitch markers here. So now I'm at the end of round 9. For round 10, we are just going to repeat the same thing. Work 1 single crochet on each stitch around. We should still have 18 stitches at the end of round 10. Go ahead, work 1 single crochet on each stitch of round 9. So that will be your round 10. Mark your first stitch with a stitch marker and then proceed working 1 single crochet on each stitch around. So now round 10 is done. Let's work round 11. Round 11 is going to be a decrement round. We are just going to work one single crochet in one stitch and single crochet two together in next two stitches around. So I have worked my first stitch and marked it with a stitch marker. I'm going to work single crochet two together in next two stitches. I'm going to repeat this pattern, work one single crochet in one stitch and single crochet two together in next two stitches. Repeat this pattern around. You should have 12 stitches at the end of round 11. So continue this pattern around. I'll meet you at the end of round 11. So after I have completed my round 11, I'm gonna attach my safety eyes just below where I have worked my round 11. I'm just spacing it equal distance from each other, and then after this I'm gonna stuff my work with polyfill, and then I'll proceed working round 12. So I'm done with that. Next I'm going to stuff my work with polyfill before I proceed to the next round. So now let's proceed with round 12. For round 12, it's again going to be a decrement round. I'm just going to work single crochet two together in every two stitches around. So this should bring our stitch count to 6 stitches. Mark your first stitch with a stitch marker and proceed working single crochet two together in every two stitches around. Go ahead, work single crochet two together in every two stitches around. So now even after that, if you have a small opening, you can work slip stitches around or continue working single crochet two together in every two stitches around to close this small opening that you may have. After that, work a slip stitch, leave a long tip of yarn, and then you can weave the ends. And after this, I usually use a blunt tip of metal crochet hook to tuck in the odd bits of yarn inside the amigurumi itself. So now we use a baby velvet yarn in white color, or you can also use a size 4 acrylic yarn to work the mouth details. Just follow along to work the mouth details. So now once that is done, download this label from the website where I have posted the free pattern, and then punch them on the either side using a punching machine, and then use a tapestry needle to sew this label with the arms as shown in this video. After that, weave your ends and snip off your yarn, and then you can use a metal crochet hook to tuck in the odd bits of yarn inside the amigurumi. So this is a cute little positive potato with a positive note. Such a nice gift idea. So with a nice message on it. So I hope you enjoyed making this positive potato amigurumi with me. So now I'm gonna snip off my odd bits and then tuck in inside the amigurumi itself using a blunt tip of a metal crochet hook. So here is our cute little positive potato made with Chenille yarn. You can download, find the free written pattern of this positive potato made with Chenille yarn in my website theyarnbowlcrochet.com, and also you can download the labels. And if you prefer working this same amigurumi with the size 4 yarn, the pattern is little different, and you can download both these patterns ad free from my Etsy page to work the positive potato for both these sizes. Or if you are just gonna work it with the chenille yarn, you can find the free pattern in my website theyarnbowlcrochet.com. And I hope you enjoyed making this positive potato amigurumi with me. I can't wait for you to try this pattern and let me know your comments. You can find the free written pattern of this positive potato made in chenille yarn in my website theyarnbowlcrochet.com. If you have an Instagram account, do follow me on my Instagram handle as well. I post project updates and fun reels on my Instagram. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do not forget to subscribe to the Yarn Bowl and click on the bell icon as well. Thanks for watching. Bye.